Hi guys, so first of all, I know this is a stream, and before anybody hops into the comments like, oh, why are you streaming it? Like, it's easier that way because this is just a quick video. I actually wanted to end up talking about one of the newest video games that I've been playing for a little while now. Today we are going to be talking about Warframe! Okay, so first off, my first impression of the game was, holy crap, this is massive. It's so much. And, I had a really great first player experience because I was able to join with friends. That's one of the biggest things about Warframe. Like, you want to play with friends because playing by yourself, it's not the same. And playing with random people on the internet, you can do that too and play the multiplayer, but it's not the same. It's not your friends. Now, before we get into anything, this is my Warframe. This is what she looks like. This is Wisp. Wisp was released as soon as I started playing, during the Jovian Concord era of things. Now, to start off with everything, I started probably about last year. I really started grinding it out, I think last year, maybe even before that. Now we're in the Empyrean era, I guess you want to call it Empyrean. Era of the Railjack, basically, and I've been through Jovian Concord. That's when I started. I went through Jovian Concord, Saint of Altara, and now Empyrean. So those are three different, three big update seasons, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. I really have to thank my friend, Black Babylon. He joined me. He was the one who got me into the game. He is a Mesa main. Now, how could I say this? She tends to be a little on the, not so much damage output, but stopping enemies, killing them fast. That's her biggest thing. For me, playing Wisp, it's just the way I play. I'm not there to do the maximum amount of damage. Now, I am a number cruncher, which means I do play Mesa every now and then, when it comes to, like, survival missions and things like that, but I'm not constantly playing Mesa, especially if I'm playing with my friend who's a better built Mesa. Which then leads me to my next point. My next point is, it's really hard and really confusing to get right into it. I remember going through it and starting the game lost. I played it on PC, I played it on computer, so it was a little easier in terms of controlling, in terms of, like, finger bindings and key bindings. Like, I got to customize it to what I play with. I have massively large hands, so if somebody were to log on to my Warframe right now and try out my key bindings, they'd be lost as all get out because of the way I play. Now, when I first started, I was so confused. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the story. I didn't know what the hell was happening. Now, I have to thank several other people, several other videos that I would watch, other YouTubers talking about the story, because it was just one of those things, like, I didn't get it. I didn't get the story. I didn't get why this random dude was waking me up and calling me his prize. Like, it didn't make sense to me. And so, over time, I played more of the quest missions because I kind of, fucked around and I didn't really take a look at what I needed to take a look at. Like, how can I say this? Like, I didn't do what I needed to. I was so focused on getting the warframes that I wanted. And I had I could say, like, I've put money into this. I've put money into Warframe. And I know other people who've put money into Warframe. I play with a squad. I play with multiple people. I play with a Zephyr main. I play with a Necros main, with a Mesa Prime, with an Excalibur main, with a Hildren main. Like, it's a massive group. And I have to say, like, that's one of my favorite things about the game. The multiplayer capability. You'd be surprised at how many people play Warframe and how many just don't talk about it. Like, why aren't we talking about this more? You hear more about Destiny 2 than you would Warframe. And it's really confusing because I love Warframe. I love Warframe. I think it's a great game. I spend hours, I've spent nights staying up and trying to, how can I say, like, trying to just grind out what I needed. Building my Mesa Prime, like, even then, that took hours, that took days to try and get her built. And it was worth it. Now we kind of get to the cons of it all. The story isn't clear. You don't know what's happening. You don't know. And I guess that's part of the story. Like, you're not really supposed to know what's going on. But it still doesn't make fucking sense. Like, I'm still partially confused as to what's going on, even with the new Empyrean update with my Kuva Lich. I don't know what's going on. I don't even necessarily understand what a Kuva Lich is. And it's not because I'm complaining, like, I don't like my Kuva Lich. I love my Kuva Lich. I think they're freaking awesome, and I like getting my ass handed to me. But I just don't understand the story behind it. There's so many different story elements. Now, I have to also remember, it's a dark, futuristic space adventure. That's what I could put it. It's basically what Destiny 2 tried to be, but failed to be. Yeah. So that's one of my biggest things, like, just conciseness on the story. And waiting times. I do not want to wait 3 days for a Warframe that I've already spent 7 days grinding to build. Because I'm one of those weirdos, I like to grind all of my materials. I don't build piece by piece. I grind all the materials I need and then start it right away. And so I'm already waiting 12 hours a piece to finish all of those pieces, because you have your chassis. Think about it. You got your chassis, you've got your systems, you've got your neuroptics, and then you need the blueprint. Well, you've already got the blueprint, so that's taken care of. Now you need to build all of those parts. Well, now you need certain parts, like certain materials and components to build those parts, and that takes 12 hours apart for a Warframe. And that's not even building the Warframe, that's just building the parts to the Warframe. Then you've got to wait 3 days. So, Digital Extremes, if you see this, please just do us a favor and shorten those wait times. You don't need it. You don't need those wait times. If you can make it, because let's be honest, spoiler warning, Excalibur Umbra takes a minute to build. So why does it take a Loki Prime or a Wisp or Hildren or Ivara Prime, Vauban Prime, any of the other Warframes Why does it take 3 days for them to be built? Just some food for thought. Like, if we could shorten that wait time, that'd be great. What else? Leveling. It's really hard to get your mastery rank up. And that's like one of the biggest things because they lock down some weapons. And Digital Extremes, like, I don't mind that. It's power scaling. That's completely understandable. But it's really difficult to get your mastery rank up, especially after you've opened up the entire star map. After you've opened up the star map, you're just kind of standing there and you're like, well, now I've got to work on my weapons. Okay, that's fine, but we have a miserable, to start off, you have a miserable amount of weapon slots. And I don't mind it. I don't mind building a weapon, maxing it out, and then selling it. That doesn't bug me. It's just, it takes up so much time. If there was a way to get more mastery XP, that'd be great. But there's not, except leveling up weapons, leveling up warframes, and doing the star map. Yeah, weapons, warframes, the star map. But once you have the star map done, what are you supposed to do? The railjack. The railjack. Railjack. Oh boy. I haven't really touched my railjack in about 2 weeks. A, because it's just so massive, and B, it's just kind of like a side thing. It's like, no quest is necessary. Like, no quest is necessary for you to enjoy the game. You could just go, and if you want to be a Mazen main, and you just want to, like, crunch out these numbers and do insane amounts of damage, go for it. They're not going to stop you. What else? Like, yeah, like, you could do that. If you're there for the story, by all means, go do the quests. You don't need to do the quests. Now, you have to do the starting quests in order to get to certain locations in the star chart, but if you're okay with just going to, like, Earth, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter, I mean, you're golden. You're golden. You don't have to go through every mission. You could just stay in the beginning. And, I mean, you know, if you want to go to, like, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and all the extra planets that they've added, I would recommend you go ahead and do those first few starting quests so you can get through, because something gets unlocked once you finish the new Strange quest, which I enjoyed. I procrastinated on it for a long time, but I enjoyed it. Now, one of my favorite places to go, Fortuna. Fortuna, 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 Fortuna. I don't know why, but something about Fortuna just has this charm behind it. If you don't know what Fortuna is, get to Venus. Go to Fortuna. Because I have never seen such an amazing musical composition. See it. Go to Fortuna. Get to Fortuna. That's all I can say. The free range areas, like Cetus, the Plains of Eidolon, and Fortuna, I wish there were more free roam areas as compared, like, I know with the Railjack, free roam is kind of open in space, which is cool, but, like, I want more. Excuse me. Still a little sick. Like, I want more. So, Digital Extremes, if you could, like, hook us up with a couple more free range, like, not with the Railjack, that'd be great. Somewhere on, like, Neptune, a solid planet, you know, Neptune, Pluto, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that. What else? What else? I think that's pretty much it. My overall experience with Warframe is great. Digital Extremes, I'm very pleased with this game. It's been absolutely amazing. I've put money into it, you know, like Warframe is just one of those things. I'm just throwing this back up there so we know what we're talking about, because yeah. And I'm sure you guys don't want to keep staring at my stuffed animals in the back. Like, how can I say this with it making sense? Come on. There's a way to say this with it making sense. I was confused at first because I didn't know what to do. But after a couple of months of playing, I started understanding what was going on. And overall, I had a great first player experience. Like my new player experience was genuinely pleasant. I had people to play with. If I didn't have people to play with that I knew, I could just hop into multiplayer. And the community is so nice and so creative. Like, my Wisp is made from mostly Tenogen. And Tenogen is like player inserted 3D models and art for Warframe. And my Wisp is mostly Tenogen, with Icarus, Syandana, and one of the newest hoods that got released for Wisp, which I'm enjoying thoroughly. My color scheme is bought with Platinum, which is surprisingly easy to get if you hop onto the Warframe market. It is not funded by Digital Extremes. Don't even confuse that. The Warframe market is separate completely. It is fan run. So, you know, the prices on there are not approved by Digital Extremes. It is purely the seller of that piece. So if you ever need something, Warframe market, they'll help you out. And you could find stuff for cheap, or you can sell your own stuff for platinum, or what we call plat. Not everything is meant to be bought by plat. You could buy things and get things with just your credits and then grinding it out. You can literally get everything in the game just by playing. You just gotta play. You gotta grind it out. And that's something I enjoy with Warframe. It's a free-to-play. It's totally free to play. Big game. Totally worth it. But yeah, like that's my recommendation. I would say, like, yeah, just check it out if you haven't played it. If you have, congratulations. Go ahead and leave a comment as to what your main is. If you don't have a main, who's one of your favorite Warframes? Even if you have it or you don't have it. And what are your opinions on Warframe? Like, how was your new player experience? Was it pleasant? Was it not so pleasant? Were you confused like I was? Did you understand? Did you have somebody to help you out? Like, go ahead and let me know. Like, because, hey, you know, you never know. Alright, so that's my opinion of Warframe. Great game. Awesome. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, guys. Leave a comment, because everything helps. I'm not trying to get monetized anytime soon. I cuss too much to be monetized. Like, let's be honest, guys. No, I'm good. But I just do this kind of for fun. Just kind of to keep you guys updated as to what's going on. Started school, so posting might be a little tighter, but that's okay. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay wicked. Bye, guys.